Hello, my name is Sierra Engel, and I did my project on the witch hunt and animals. A really interesting topic. Animals played a huge role in witchcraft throughout the past centuries, especially in the early 1600s. Witches and animals were accused of witchcraft, so it wasn't just the witches, it was also animals. And there are many different common types of animals used. Animals were also used as familiars, so that's going to mean that it's like a spiritual animal between a witch and an animal. Horses, goats, mice, cats, frogs, stags, owls, ravens, bats, pigs, and wolves. So a variety of different animals. There's many more that they use, but those are going to be the most common ones that the witches are going to be searching for when using their witchcraft, because they each have something certain that links well with, talking to nature. Some of them might need a strength animal. Some of them, there's many different types of animals that have different aspects with them. Witchcraft was usually done through their spiritual animals, and because animals are much closer to nature than humans are. So animals can, technically talk to the nature, as they say, and so witches would have to go through them to be able to do what they needed to do. Witches could have several familiars when some of them only had maybe one or two, but some witches had, a lot. And the witches would go in and adopt these animals, depending on which one they wanted. It was more likely for them to adopt them to become their familiar. Animals and their parts were used for spells and practices, so sometimes bones of animals would be used for practices and spells and potions as well. Animals were also used a lot for protection, which is when they walk in their home, they'd make sure their animal was there to protect them, not letting anything bad in, such as bad energy or anything like that. Animals would also protect them while they were sleeping and dreaming, because that is when the witch, their vivid dreams are so, they seem so real, and they need to make sure that the animals are there to protect them. Animals were a very important aspect of a witch's life. So witches don't technically believe in God. Witches, they know God exists, but they know God so well that they don't believe in it. For example, we know the postman is real, but we don't believe in him because he's a postman. We know he's, a real person. So they know him to the extent that they don't believe in God, because they work with him, they speak with him through spiritual, spells and through their spirit animals and things like that. Common witchcraft practices are going to be spell casting, violent related castings, and all natural ones. Finding the familiar strength of a familiar animal. They definitely want to look for the connection. Can be found through meditation, so a witch will do meditation to find their animal, their spiritual animal. I chose to do my paper on witchcraft and animals because I am a total animal lover, and sometimes it's I feel like I have a connection with my two dogs, which I love very much, and I kind of wanted to learn more about the connection between witchcraft and animals, as I love learning about witchcraft. It's a great thing to learn about, very interesting, and especially how time has evolved, definitely over the centuries, that now we don't really talk about that anymore, so it's great to have a class to really learn about that. So I really enjoyed this project, and I hope you have a good night. Bye!